Welcome to Quick Course Digest. In this explainer on the principles of marketing, we're going to pull back the curtain on the magic behind the brands you know and love. We're going to look at how they go from just a spark of an idea to becoming a household name.
So, we'll walk through the 5 key stages of this whole marketing journey. We're talking about how businesses find their people, create something amazing for them, get the word out, build that loyalty, and do it all responsibly.
So, where does it all begin? Let's dive right into the first, and you could argue the most important step of all, finding your target market. It doesn't start with a product, it actually starts with a question. They start by digging in with marketing research to find a problem, or maybe an unmet need, for a very specific group of people. And this is so much more than just looking at data. It's really about empathy. It's about finding that gap, that little frustration, or a desire that just isn't being served. If you get this right, that one insight becomes the North Star for absolutely everything that follows. But if you get it wrong, well, you're just building something that nobody ever asked for. Okay, so once you know exactly who you're serving and what it is they truly need, the next huge step is crafting the solution. This is where that initial idea starts to take shape and become something real, something tangible. And here's the bottom line. A new product has to be a total game changer. In a world that is just jam-packed with choices, good enough is just not going to cut it. It has to offer a really clear, super compelling advantage to convince people to switch from the brands they already know, they already trust, and maybe even love. This is like a tale of two companies, right? You've got Maxwell House, who tinkered with their coffee blend, a blend people loved, just to save a few pennies. And what happened? They lost their loyal customers. But then, on the flip side, you have Instagram, who just kept pushing, kept adding exciting new features that got users completely hooked and led to just explosive growth. It's a really powerful lesson in what to do, and maybe more importantly, what not to do.
So you've got this fantastic product. Now what? How in the world do you get the word out and make sure people can actually hear you above all the noise from the competition? Let's talk about communicating your value.
Marketers have this whole toolbox, and it's called the promotion mix. Now, the real art here isn't just knowing what these tools are, it's knowing how to blend them perfectly. A big TV ad might build general awareness, but a super targeted social media campaign can drive actual sales. The real strategy is in picking the right combo to connect with the right people at exactly the right time.
So within advertising, there are really 3 main goals. First, you might just need to inform people that your product even exists and what it does. Then you've got to persuade them, connecting your product's benefits to their needs on a deeper level. And then sometimes, you go head-to-head and directly compare your stuff to the competition to really highlight what makes you different. And you see these ideas out in the real world constantly. Wendy's is not shy at all about calling out McDonald's with their Fresh Never Frozen campaign. And a giant like McDonald's, sometimes all they really need to do is just give you that gentle nudge, that reminder that they're right around the corner when you get hungry.
So how much do you spend on all this? Well, it's not just guesswork. Companies use some pretty established models. Some will tie their budget directly to a percentage of their sales. Others, especially startups, might use the all-you-can-afford method, basically whatever's left over. And a whole lot of them keep a very close eye on their rivals, setting their budget to match whatever competitors are spending just to stay in the game. But hey, it's not all about those flashy, expensive TV commercials. Sometimes a well-timed sales promotion can work wonders. Do you remember the Lay's Do Us a Flavor contest? It got everyone talking and created a massive buzz. And really, who can resist a free meal? That's the power of direct marketing, like the coupons that HelloFresh sends right to your mailbox.
A sale isn't the end of the story. In modern marketing, it's really just the beginning. The real goal is to turn a one-time buyer into a lifelong fan. And that takes building a real relationship.
But here's the massive challenge. A staggering 86% of consumers are concerned about their data privacy. You absolutely cannot build a relationship without trust. And in our digital world, that trust is incredibly fragile. So how do you navigate this? Well, the key is something called Customer Relationship Management, or CRM. And it's so much more than just a piece of software. It's a whole strategy for managing every single interaction a person has with your company. The ultimate goal here is to go from being just another company to becoming a trusted advisor they can actually rely on. I want you to think of a good CRM system as your company's memory. It remembers the little things, like your birthday, and the big things, like what you usually buy. It's how companies build that deep loyalty and create customers for life.
And all of this work builds up what we call customer equity, which is the ultimate measure of a strong, lasting relationship with the people who matter most.
All right, finally, let's look at how marketing is evolving. Because it's no longer enough to just have a great product and a clever ad campaign. Consumers today, well, they demand more. They expect brands to be ethical, to be inclusive, and to be purpose-driven. And this isn't just some feel-good idea. It has a direct impact on the bottom line. Over half of consumers will literally walk away from a brand if they see it as unethical. In today's market, your values are just as important as your value proposition.
So a great modern brand has to juggle all these complex issues. They have to protect user data, like what Apple is doing. They have to make sure their products and their ads are inclusive, learning from the mistakes of brands like Tarte. Many of them now take a stand on social issues, like Dove's amazing campaign that's been going on for 2 decades. And they operate sustainably, like Athleta, meeting the values of a new generation of consumers.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, in today's world, a successful brand is so much more than just a product. It's a story. It's a community. It's a set of values. It's not just about what you sell, it's really about what you stand for. And that is definitely something worth thinking about.